Project-based learning. What is project-based learning? So PBL is the act of learning through identifying a real-world problem and developing a solution for that particular real-world problem. So it gives students the chance to show what they have learned as they actually go through a unit and not just show what they've learned at the end of the unit. So we get to see the whole process of this project-based learning. Chapter 3, Imagining the Possibilities. So teachers should always keep in mind the framework of the project that they are creating. And they should never really rely on textbooks alone. Any great teacher is going to be able to think on their feet and get creative and have other ideas outside of the textbook, just as teachers expect for students to do. They should be able to do the same thing as well. And it's also important to keep the students engaged in the project at hand, so they're actually interested and want to participate as well. So teachers should also create projects with passion so that these projects can support social and emotional development, which are important to a child's growth. Projects should always meet learning goals, so they should always have a point to them. We're not just wasting time or killing time or doing busy work with these projects. They should always meet some type of learning goal. Teachers should always state the big idea of the project so that students know why they're participating in this project. Why should they care about this project? What makes this project special or different from any other project that they've done before, which is a question that students will oftentimes ask because they want to know, why am I wasting my time doing this if I'm not going to benefit from it? So in order to keep students engaged, it is important to state the big idea of the project at hand. So the 6 essential learning tools would include research, making ideas visible, some type of collaboration, project management, reflections, and also supported study. So chapter 4 dives into strategies for discovery. So during this chapter, they focus on making sure activities are timed appropriately. So you don't want to spend too much time on one part of the project and not enough time on another part of the project, and things are lost in translations or not focused on or anything like that. And the focus should always be on the assessment. So again, that has to do with the learning goals. So the learning goals should always be the main focus of the project. And assessments should always flow and feel organic. You don't want to create an assessment that obviously is unrealistic, is an unrealistic goal to meet. So they should always feel organic. So what makes for a good project? A good project is going to allow students to create some type of meaning and dig deeper and to want to ask further questions, as to what this project means, how am I benefiting from this, those type of questions. It makes the students want to dig deep. And again, you want to capture the attention of the students, which has pretty much been the focal point of this book per se. Using real life scenarios are important so that students are able to relate in that way. It's easy to relate to situations that can actually happen. Students should, again, always learn by doing. So these projects should have a meaning, which has been said over and over, but it seems to be important. And also allow students to share and learn from each other. A lot of times it's important for students to learn from their peers, to see different ways of doing things, learn from their mistakes, learn from positive things that they've done with their projects. It just makes everything more relatable, and again keeps the students engaged with one another when it comes to these projects. So chapter 5 is making assessments meaningful. So it is important to use rubrics that are created in advance, because you want to make sure these rubrics are appropriate for the projects. You want to make sure students are able to prove what they have learned by doing these projects. So rubrics are definitely important, and assessments should model real-world assessments. So again, they should feel organic and feel natural and be realistic. The assessment should allow the students to meet realistic goals. You don't want to make rubrics that, these children can't meet, or students can't meet. So that's important. Formative assessments include checking in with students, making necessary adjustments, looking for different project markers, setting milestones, and they also allow teachers to travel on the path towards specific learning goals with the student. So as I stated in the beginning, these projects allow for students to learn throughout the journey and not just at the end to see what they've learned. It allows for them to show it through the journey. So teachers are able to travel on this path as well with the students. So that pretty much sums up the chapters that we read throughout this book. So hopefully you enjoyed my project. Thank you.